Hello and welcome to my video on Foundation for Apps. I am Anton Januska. I was the lead developer for the Angular side of Foundation for Apps. I basically developed the entire, or converted all the components to AngularJS from the initial Foundation jQuery structure and kind of architected the Foundation API and some of the bigger components. I wanted to kind of give my overview of Foundation for Apps. I'm gonna say this beforehand. Whatever views I have or whatever opinions I express may not necessarily reflect on what Zurb is doing. Kind of doing this on my own. But I had the opportunity to build Foundation for Apps with Zurb, and it was pretty exhilarating. So let's get into it. So I wanted to build a sample application with Foundation for Apps from scratch. There are plenty of docs to tell you how to go ahead and do that. Let's go in there, and I'm on Windows, obviously. And so that's a little bit different for me than everybody. I know that a lot of people use OS X. Zurb uses OS X, or most of the Zurbians seem to use Macs. I'm kind of the exception to the rule, so I was the only Windows developer on the team. And that kind of worked out well for me because there were some issues with the Foundation CLI that popped up only in Windows, and there are a lot of Windows users. So I got to fix those. So first, let me install the CLI. I went ahead and actually deleted the CLI that I had, so I'm starting over. And while that's happening, I wanted to answer some questions that were asked frequently on Twitter, on GitHub, and kind of tell you what my opinion is on these things. So first of all, what is it for? Again, I'm speaking only for myself. I see this as a really cool tool for designers or front-end developers that don't know Foundation very style frameworks very well, because you get to basically drop in these neat HTML components and they just kind of all work together without you having to write any JavaScript whatsoever. That's kind of the beauty of it. You get to bootstrap this app and it works, and you don't have to touch any controllers or write any services or anything like that. Everything just kind of works for you. So that's kind of like on the designer part, that you get to rapidly prototype these applications with all of the Foundation components without having to write a single line of JavaScript. Is the Angular developers, because now there's a Foundation for Angular. There is an open source project that I've seen, Foundation Angular. Modal has its own the Modal has its own like special methods that make it open or close or whatever, and this is kind of a different approach to it, where it's more it's much easier to deal with. You don't, like I said, you don't really have to be a programmer to use it. So this is the project. They've moved. Anyway, it's pretty cool. You can go ahead and check it out. But today we're focused on Foundation for Apps. So it went ahead and installed, which is cool. So let's create an app, Foundation Apps. I believe it's new. Okay. So I wanted to create like a basic business template. I used to freelance a lot, and when I stopped freelancing, I kind of changed my the layout of my blog to be, or the layout of my website to be more blog-like rather than otherwise. Don't mind the corrupted images. I'm under a VPN, so some of that gets blocked. Anyway, so I have like about me and whatever, and kind of links to my most popular articles, but I don't have any like services. I don't have anything for people to contact me. So let's just build a basic marketing website. Let's call it Marketing and Janice. So Foundation Apps CLI, the Foundation CLI helps you, does all the grunt work for you. It downloads the Foundation Apps template, which is a separate repo that a lot of people don't know about. Apps template. It downloads the template, it does an npm install on it to install all the node dependencies, does a borrow install to install all the JavaScript and styling dependencies, and finally it does a bundle install. Bundle install basically installs Ruby SAS. Okay. So while that's going on, I'd like to talk to you about Angular. So why Angular? Zurb has their own reasons. Why did I choose to work with Angular? I chose to work with Angular because, first of all, Angular is very commonly used in the enterprise level, and the proliferation of it is very large. If you ask a JavaScript person oh, hey, do you know Angular? They'll tell you, oh yeah, I've heard of Angular. It's cool stuff. If you ask them about Knockout, they might not know what it is. Ember, if they've dealt with Angular before, they might have heard of Ember, but not really that much. It is on the rise. And then the new kid on the block is React, but React, React is more programming heavy, so you'd have to figure out this entire event loop and all this other stuff, and that just wouldn't work with this project. What works with this project is the fact that, there's an update available. That's strange. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so what was I saying? So what works with Angular is that a lot of people know it. What works with it as well is the templating, the directives. Basically, you get to neatly package these modules, which are the components, and distribute them independently of everything else. And it's really easy to explain to somebody that they just have to type in zf-modal, and it creates a modal element, and that's all you have to do. I haven't actually messed around too much with Ember or anything else. I've worked with Knockout before, and until recently I haven't seen them have anything similar. So this works. Oh, it looks like it's running. And it is awesome. So this is the welcome page for the template. Let me open a new window. For anybody wondering, I'm using Commander or CMDR, which is a command line emulator, and adds some cool things to it. Did I call it? Yeah, marketing. One of them is if you run git init. No? Git status? Whatever. It supports the 256 color scheme. I can run Vim on it in full color, which is awesome, and I'm going to go ahead and actually do that right now. So, we have our page. We have some basic templates, home and index. None of these actually work, and if you check out the inspector, oh, why is that on the... Alright, well, that's not giving us any errors. That's good. So none of that actually works. So let's create some templates. I'd definitely like to have a home page. I want to have a services HTML page. I want to have an about page. And yes, I've pre-written all of these ideas. Portfolio.html. What else? Blog, that's a good one. And post. Let's do post. So again, this is rapid prototyping. So instead of actually, I don't know, putting this into separate folders and doing all this other stuff with it, we're basically just starting from scratch. So I think home was already here. So what Foundation for Apps has is this neat little routing, this neat little front matter, I think that's what it's called. And what it allows you to do is basically build out your routing for the UE router using a plugin called Gulp something or the other. I really wish I could remember these. I named it too. front matter. That's not it. Connect. Crap, where the hell is it? Maybe it's in assets? No? Wow, that's bizarre. I built this, so you know how bad this is. No? Routing. Ah, okay. So the routing comes from the Gulp dynamic routing plugin. The plugin is actually part of Foundation Apps. It's not a separate plugin, which it would be kind of cool to have it, but it has this one specific application. So anyway, so you can specify some variables, name, URL, title. You can also specify your custom variables. I like to use those for rapid prototyping, but let's start with this and start adding on later. This is our about page, so home becomes about, and let's capitalize this. If you use Vim, don't cringe at the fact, like at how I'm using it right now. Let's use blog, so that's name blog, URL, oops, lowercase blog, URL blog, title blog, okay. So using these this front matter is kind of twofold. One of them is that there's a service that or there's a provider that sets up all the routing for you in the UE router, and the other thing is that the built-in controllers take advantage of the of all these extra variables, and they inject them into the page. I can go ahead and show you that real quick. Controllers. Yeah, so they actually request the state parameter and the state, and they copy that over so that it's available for you on the page. So under scope or under vars, you can actually view all of the variables. So we can do for portfolio. That's actually a good example. Let's do works. And I might get this wrong on the first try because I haven't actually done it too many times, but let's try this. Some sample projects, let's say my website, test site, super app, and what we'll be able to do is actually, I'll print this out and we can see the routing there, or all of the front matter. Portfolio post. So another cool thing that you can do here is specify parent pages and child views. So a post is going to be a child of a blog, correct? Huh. No, it won't be. That would make sense. But you can specify child pages, which is pretty cool. I wish I actually had thought this through more and actually shown you how you can go ahead and do that. And title is going to be variable, so let's not deal with that. And services. Name, services, URL, services, and title, services. Cool. So if we do that, refresh this page, we should have services. No? What's going on here? Oh, since I created new page templates, Gulp doesn't actually watch for those and doesn't actually it doesn't work with those. So what you need to actually do is like restart every time you create a new file. At least that has been my experience. I could be totally wrong with that. I based it on their globbing because they do like the glob for the watch, and the way I understand it, it shouldn't work. So let's see, services. No. I have it. Oh, there we go. So let's try one of the other ones. Post. Post should work. Yeah, post works. It's empty, obviously. Okay. So we have all that. I kind of would love to have a dynamic menu. So let's see if we can go ahead and figure that out somehow. I'm going to go ahead and do that by adding a new controller. So you can go ahead and do that as well. And I created a controller for Foundation. It's ignored in the repo. That's all right. That's how it should be. Apps. So there's a docs controller. Whoops. It's called nav controller, which creates a nice little neat list of all your routes. And because I'm doing this way, I gotta do paste mode. Cool. So this will allow us to show all of the navigation via the scope. And let's register ng controller nav controller as nav. It's bound to the scope, so it's actually not going to show up. Turn off the paste mode. Routes. Let's see how that shows up. Okay. AngularJS assets. Why is that? Oh, there we go. All about the order. No, it's not. This is always embarrassing. I should have really pre-written this and done that, so that you wouldn't have to watch me struggle with it. And then you're probably over there like thinking, oh, it's called routing. You're probably over there thinking like, oh, well, this guy, I can totally see what's happening. Cool. So you can kind of see it right over here, all the different routes. It tries to use the title. If there's no title, it just uses the name. So for the post, actually, we're going to go ahead and supply a title post. And we can go ahead and do that. What we're going to do is actually this. ng repeat route and routing. This is more advanced stuff, actually. I should have left it for later. Why is it not? It doesn't have an editor config, that's why. Anyway, use ref. That's not gonna work. Alright, so that works somewhat. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave this end the way it is, just because I am lazy. And I'm gonna do something that I shouldn't be doing. Services, why is that output? Alright, that's alright for now. How long have I wasted on this? Way too long, probably. We can actually do a uisref route. Let's see if that works. Could not resolve. Okay, cool. So we just need to pass a. Let's see if I can actually just check this out. So we need to pass a variable into uisref. Yep, there we go. Dynamic uisref and directive. State.ref, generate URL, blah blah, all kinds of information. Is this already implemented? It doesn't look like it. Okay, so that's not implemented. Whatever. Let's do it the good old-fashioned way. Copy, edit as HTML, copy, paste mode, and veto. I am not a guru when it comes to Vim. Oh, this is terrible looking. Alright, just fuck it. Just really, just no, none of this. What we're gonna do is build it manually. Services, so this should be ref equals services, a, lay, and that works. Cool. All right. So let's build out our menu. We're gonna do about services about. Why is that not working? Oh. Like I'm saying, if you guys are watching this, you're probably thinking, what is this guy doing? You know, it's so simple. Portfolio. Yep, did it again. Services, portfolio. Services. What did we have? Blog. And what is another page do we have? We have about, services, portfolio, blog, and that's it. All right, cool. And let me just capitalize these. And yep, working. Cool. Okay, so we got that going. Got the app, got the pages. Let's talk all the cool stuff that you get to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to services. So one of the things that a lot of people like to do in services is, where's the title? Would that work? Oh, what? I'm in portfolio services. All right, cool. One of the things that that people like to do is offer kind of a list of their services in an accordion. So I'm going to go ahead and implement that. These are my services. Take them or leave them. I don't care. Like a true developer. So let's look at the docs for that. So go ahead and let's go to accordion. Cool. I definitely want a multi-open. So this is more up my alley right over here. What is not up my alley is this horrid indenting. In case you didn't know, I am a huge white space Nazi. So, all right, so this is ZF Accordion. Accordion has a couple of options: multi-open, auto-open. Auto-open basically means that the first item opens automatically. I don't want that. Let's do our title for our services, web development. Let's do that. I'm so cool that I can develop your website so fast to the moon. Cool. Let's have web design. I am much better at designing your site than your brothers, than your uncle's best friend's nephew who is in high school. Nothing against anybody in high school, just a long-running joke. And finally, consulting. I consult. It's like a statement of who you are. Let me see. Cool. So we have that. Cool. Yeah. And you know, somebody can view our services. That's pretty neat, right? You can, you know, add as much text as you want. Let's get some lipsum right in there. You know what? I'm gonna copy that as paragraphs. I do this so much. Copy or edit. in case you're wondering what I'm doing with all these shortcuts, that's, again, terrible indenting. That's what I get for using paste. So I got a few shortcuts set up basically that help me get into paste mode in Vim, getting out of paste mode. I have a special shortcut for the commander or CMDR. I call it commander. I like the sound of that instead of CMDR. Sometimes I call it CMDR, which is terrible. I don't think that's how you're supposed to say it. But I have some shortcut for that to paste multi-line, to do a multi-line paste. A lot of people don't use it unless you use Vim or something like that. You're not going to use it in a command line. So save our stuff, and much better. This is so cool, right? I'm glad our clients are now going to know like what we're about. Let's talk about. Let's get on to about page 3. Like I said, you can access. Oh, I just pointed at the screen. You can access all of these variables via vars dot if you use the built-in controller. So we're gonna do vars dot title because that would make sense. Hi, I know you want to know all about me. What we're going to use this time is tabs, because why not? I don't need displaced tabs, I just need regular tabs. The documentation here is a little bit different than what you can do with it. So you can actually set these up the same way as you would with the accordion. So you don't actually need to add the diffs or any of the stuff, or that, I don't believe. So let's erase that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to section off professional, who I am professionally. Let's check out my LinkedIn. Let's check out my LinkedIn elsewhere. I was using an incognito tab just in case I type something in and something like weird comes up, and then I would have to explain it, and I don't want to. So, okay, yeah, let's just say that worked on. All right, yeah, let's copy that. And that's my neat little description. And I also want to use my picture. Let's see if we can hotlink it so that I don't have to deal with it. Image source. It looks like it's hotlinkable. So let's check it out. Where the hell am I at? Oh, damn it. I closed it out. Come on. There we go. Oh, that's ugly. All right. Well, let's use one of the other components. I remember seeing cards or grids or something. So I've actually not done a lot of work with the CSS. The only CSS work that I've done was, or CSS work on this project specifically, was trying to make things. Oh, thumbnail. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. The only work that I've done has actually been with the components themselves. So if something didn't work, I might try to fix things up a little bit, but usually it was Jeff who did the rest of the work. It's still ugly. All right, let me do, and kids, don't try this at home. Hide auto, and there should be a float utility, like a left. Yeah, there we go. Float left, yeah. So see, it's much easier. I don't have to dive into any CSS or JavaScript. I get to just kind of build exactly what I'm thinking. Let's add some more libsim because I don't write enough about myself. So it's much easier. I'm pretty much like almost done creating like the basics for this prototype. Doesn't look great, but It doesn't look great, but whatever. It's a prototype. Yeah, it's weird that it like rides up to the edge there. It's probably better if I use the grid or something. I actually don't know the grid that well. Let's see. Alright, yeah, let's use the grid. Let's screw this float left crap. We're gonna use the grid. On the left there's gonna be a neat picture of me. Div class grid frame. Div class grid block. Div class grid block, and we're gonna end the block here. Div, and this is gonna get indented twice. All right, let's see if that looks a little bit better. That looks terrible. What did I mess up? That's because I don't want it to shrink. That's what I want. Whoa, what did I do there? Okay. I feel like I'm taking way longer than I thought I would. I had this all planned out yesterday, and this is so terrible. What the hell? Manual sizing. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's what's happening here. I definitely want a medium 4. This is gonna be a medium 8, and that should do it. Almost. So what's happening here? I think it's breaking something up. Alright, whatever. Let's go back to what I had before. And, grid frame. Cool, so now you know something about me professionally, and let's set the second tab to be personal, and we're going to talk about the fact that I love dogs, I love programming, I love my life, and I love using Windows 8. That's trolling people who actually read this crap. And professional, personal, cool. So we got a few tabs. I was gonna say portfolio. Okay, so portfolio, we're gonna do something a little bit different. As you can see, I'm printing out the, I keep pointing. All right, I printed out the vars, so I know what's available just for myself. Vars.title, h3. So cool thing is, this is the stuff I've worked on. Yeah, better know what I've worked on. This was in paragraph tags. It's bugging me. I wonder if it's gonna look better now. Yeah, a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Okay. Portfolio. All right. So everybody better know what I've worked on, because hell yeah, right? So for this one, I wanted to use the cards, and I don't know exactly where they're at. Like, I've gone through this several times. I know that Brandon made a kitchen sink of like all the cool stuff. Action sheet, menu bar, title bar. Nope, that's not it. Content, card, oh, under card. All right, cool. So what I want to do is actually use these neat little cards to show all of the stuff that I want to do. Oh, so cool with all these colors. Really, this is really awesome. Like, several years ago, this was something I needed. I was doing some cool, what do you call it? Prototyping, and I had to do all of this in Illustrator because nobody had any cards available. So let's do this. Div class card. And we're gonna do ng repeat. Yeah, that's where it's at. Work and works. So we saw that it showed up as an array. Yeah, so this little neat part that parses an array. So the front matter parser accepts standard YAML, so you can do really cool shit with it, because YAML is pretty much a different way of just structuring arrays or objects. So yeah, so let's do this. Let's see how this shows up. Come on. What the hell? It's in bars. The decision to like put it in different in a vars namespace was mine. I didn't want it to pollute the regular namespace, and this is kind of to let you know, like, oh, these are all the variables that you have available through the front matter. If you guys have a better name for it, I'm totally all ears, and I can go ahead and try to implement that. All right, that's the card divider. So let's see, how did they split it up into this neat little grid? Of course they used grid. Grid block, this is a grid block, and well, yeah, but how does this work? Okay, cool. See, I don't understand the grid too well, so this is actually really good to know, good to learn about. So we're gonna do a grid block. We're gonna do a small up 2. We're gonna pretty much like copy it, medium up 3. Don't bother about the ng scope. That's Angular stuff that they add automatically, that Angular adds automatically. And we're gonna do a grid content. Nope. Yeah, grid content. And we're actually gonna do the ng repeat here. Equals work and vars.works. Okay. Oh, yeah, deleted the card. Div class card. So anyway, I keep babbling on. I keep losing my track. I'm bad at like keeping attention or multitasking. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to get started with it and do all this, you know, rapid prototyping. We're gonna steal the cat image because it's cool as hell. Image source. Is it just that? Yeah, it is. All right. Div class. Yeah, so it's easy to just like put all these components together and have like somewhat of a decent product. I don't know how long I've been recording. 40 minutes. So I've been recording 40 minutes, and I have a pretty good like structure that I can show off to somebody. It's definitely not like the best work, but I'm also like kind of struggling because I can't remember where half this crap is. We're gonna put Lipsum here too, because why not? No? Almost there. There we go. And I'm gonna do that, make it shorter. There. Cool. So with just some work, basically, you get to with the help of like these variables up here, you get to do like ng repeat and use Angular to like the fullest extent to really help out, like to get stuff ready for you, which is really awesome. And let's try this. Let's see how this shows up. And so you get to take advantage of like ng repeat instead of copy and pasting stuff or trying to like create your own framework. What did I mess up? Of course I did. Missing error. What's happening here? I probably messed something up. So I'm on a Windows machine. Ruby is pretty slow through JRuby, or at least it feels like it. I don't know if it's as slow on a OS X machine. It just feels so slow. almost there. All right, so I messed something up. So this is probably not valid YAML. Anyway, I'm gonna let that run. Anyway, so yeah, so we were able to use kind of like just barely any. We haven't done any JavaScript coding, and we have like all this stuff already done. We haven't done any CSS. We already have all this cool stuff done, and we can keep going. So let's do the post. The post is really cool. We can do posts. Let's do a post. Oh yeah, this is really cool. You're gonna love this. We're actually gonna do. We will do a parent of. Let's do this. Blog. It's not going to be a parent. This will be an ID. Is it? I think it's like that. And we're going to match each ID to a post. So we're going to have a hello world post. We're going to have a foundation for apps post, and Antonin is great post. Let's do this. I believe I created a variable called params, like parameters, that holds the parameters, so it should hold like params.id, and that should give us the ID. What's cool with that is that we're going to be able to do this. Show vars.posts, and we're going to do params.id. So if we have a cool. That's what I wanted. Can I do a regular expression? Or just post? Nope, not working. Okay. Somebody pointed out that you can't do like actual JavaScript expressions in here, which is totally fine. So ID 0 is post. Let's cheat and offset it. So that we get a hello world ID 1, because nobody starts with ID 0. Yeah, there we go, hello world. Cool. So this is our post. Let's add some content. Oops. Let's try this. Test content. I suggest you play around with this or just learn YAML. I probably should have done that part. Posts, offset, test content. Yeah, so you get to create these more complicated objects, but I'm not going to do that. Let's add our content. We're going to do all this lipsum here because we're cool like that. And actually, what we're going to do is it was HTML, because I'm lazy and I know it doesn't show. I want the content to look a little bit variable. I don't want it to be the same for each page. So what I'm going to do is use Angular's built-in features like ngIf. I believe what we can do for ngIf is use something like if params.id is larger than 3, or is larger than 2. So if params.id is larger than 2, that first glob of text is going to show up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. ngIf params.id is smaller than is equal to 1. Yeah, let's do that. Whoops, that's a closing tag. Huh. Happens. At my old age, I can't see well. Equals 1. That's not right. Yeah, there we go. Okay. ngIf params.id is larger than, is smaller than 2. Alright, let's add a few more posts. No, let's not. Okay. So we have some text here, different amount of text here, different amount of text here. So it adds a little bit of variability. And that's kind of what I think was that what I wanted to show you for this? Yeah, I definitely did. Okay. We're going to use these same posts, and we're going to get them to blog. And what we're going to do here is link to them. So vars.title, and we're going to do a div ng repeat. And I wonder if there is a really neat way of showing that. Let's not be fancy. We're going to do post and vars.posts, and each one will lead to a specific place. UASref with parameters. Had one built out somewhere. Yeah, that's better. All right. So we're going to do h4. Do this into a huge anchor tag. UASref. Post ID equals and you should have an index. Oh, there we go. Index. And we're going to do post. And we're not going to bother with this. All right, cool. Neat. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, so as you can see, we were able to quickly create kind of like a rudimentary static blog with not too much markup, you know, not too much copy pasting. The only thing we had to copy paste were the posts. Is it supposed to be the other way? I never know if it's supposed to be. Maybe it's this way. I'll do h4a. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Posts dot ID is index. So this is more of the Angular side. Like if you're an Angular developer, you're kind of like more familiar with doing these things. I must have had it right before, and now I just screwed it up. What the hell did I do? Oh, it's post. It's not posts. Yeah, cool. So now we get to do this. So let's go through our site. So we have our services. You get to look through all the services. We have our little about page, a little portfolio, and then we have a blog, which is pretty cool. And I guess that's like most of the stuff that I wanted to show off. There are a bunch of other components that you can use, like a pop-up or something, or I know I like modals a lot. You know what? Why don't we just implement one of the modals? Yeah, let's just implement one of the modals. So let's say in our post here, we want to make sure that there's a button up top, and let's look into buttons because they're cool. And we're going to do a class button, and we're going to do a regular size button, and we're going to do success because we want everybody to associate our site with success. And we're going to be subscribe. Yeah, we're going to let users subscribe. Isn't that awesome? I'm sure everybody wants to subscribe by email to like all these blogs. That's like the way of getting users to sign up for your site and follow you. If you can't detect sarcasm in my voice, that's all right too. and we're going to do ZF open. So I created all these cool utility directives like ZF open, which basically informs another, it sends an open message to another directive. We're going to put the directive down here. And it tells it, oh, hey, open. And it works with IDs, and it works via the Foundation API service. The service holds like this huge array of like any component that wants to subscribe and subscribe to these messages. You can create your own components and hook it up there as well. We definitely want an overlay, and I want overlay close. So overlay close is make sure that the modal closes if you click on the overlay. Anyway, so yeah, so you get so not nice. Oh, this one's so cool. Okay. Anyway, so what was I saying? So it's like this messaging place where you can like send a message to a directive and tell it to open or close, toggle. Some directives have like advanced features like clear all, which clears all of them. That's like notifications. It clears all of the notifications. And there's also ZF close. Close basically just closes the directive if you don't specify where to send the message. It just looks to the parent and sees like, oh, hey, you know, is this parent closable or not? Which is pretty neat. Class grid content section. Oh, this is actually at the same level. And let's do forms. Oh, this is neat looking forms. So we're gonna do form label is enter your email. Please subscribe. And h3 and blog. Text field, our placeholder is going to be email, and we're going to close that off. And is there like a button and a button, right? Okay. And at the end, we're going to do a button. href class button. And what we can do is actually, since we're prototyping, it doesn't really matter. Add ZF close to it so that when somebody fills out the form, it closes. Doesn't do anything, but that's okay. Subscribe. Enter your email. Antonet@antjanis.com. Submit. Yes. Subscribe. So as you can see, you can like start compiling all these components together, have some cool stuff with it. You know, it wouldn't be difficult to, let's say, change the modal to implement the tabs that we have in About and have like a, you know, sign in and register tabs. That's like that's a totally normal kind of design pattern. We can, you know, implement interchange. Interchange is like one of my favorite components here, and it was the most difficult to code. So what it does is basically based on the width of your window, it shows you specific content, and it works on media queries that are in Foundation, but you can add your own media queries to specify like when to show an element. So see, you have a small, medium, large image, which is really cool. Like if you want to have a cool effect on your website, to have like a, oh, why is that not hooked up to home? To have, I don't know, a scaling logo or whatever. I've seen some really cool things that people do with it. Yeah, this is not, yeah, let's hook it up to home. Ref home. Bam. Okay. So I think I just went through basically most of the stuff. I keep thinking that there's something else, and I can't remember what it is. You know, you can keep continuing like this prototype, you know, like having a portfolio piece page that takes in an argument from here and shows you the portfolio piece. Oh, one of the cool things is the side menu. What is it called? Off canvas. So I really like off canvas stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and add that for the menu, because, you know, minimalist, just not showing your menu when somebody gets on your page seems to be the thing that's in right now. So let's do an open left. That's a good one. So we're going to do, oh, it's not toggleable. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to the end of my main page, off canvas, position left, ZF off canvas. And how are these menus created? Menu bar vertical. Yeah, all right, so we're going to do that. Class menu bar vertical. In case you haven't noticed, actually this is an off canvas. Yeah, this is an off canvas, or actually it's a panel that whose class was, or whose styling was overridden to stay in place and not disappear. Class title menu, because what else would I be showing you? And we can try to do this. Sorry for the white space problems. I don't know what I'm thinking with it. Oh yeah, and then we need a button to trigger it. ZF. Oh, just open. Yeah, that's what it is. Cool. Or toggle. So let's do that. Let's erase these. Let's do Lee Tref, and oh, let me make this closable as well. ZF close class close button X ZF open. Let's give it an ID of menu off canvas, ZF open, menu off canvas. And I'd love to use one of those cool icons that they have. Where's iconic? You know, those, like one of the hamburger ones or whatever the hell, if they have one of those. They don't. Home, that's a good one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. How do you do it? Seriously, I developed this and I can't for the life of me remember what the hell it is. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Foundation apps. Why with the Modal Components? Huh. Alright, let's try it. Alright, that works. Alright. I'm gonna skip that part because I would have to read up on it. I don't feel like it. So let's just do that. Ooh. What do you call it? Instead of a horizontal hamburger, it's a vertical hamburger, because I'm cool like that. And as you can see, it tells you like when the you can switch to pages, you can go between them very quickly, and works well. Cool. This moves. This moves the entire thing. So what did I do wrong here? Modal overlay, padding. Yeah, where is this at? Oh, it has to be overlay on top. Let's see if that makes a difference. Oh, wrong place. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Cool. And we can also do like, I keep saying we can also do, because it's just endless, you know? It's just endless, all the cool stuff you can do. We can do this, you know? It basically says that, oh, if the element inside is active, add is active, class. Active equals is active. I hope this is still recording. It looks like if I was just talking to myself for the past half an hour. is active. Yeah, now it shows up. Look at that. Look at that. Whenever you go to a different page. Yeah, awesome, isn't it? It's our menu. Cool. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, I'm on Twitter 24/7. If it's an issue that you're having, get on GitHub. See if there was an open issue already. If there isn't, go ahead and open one. It's not difficult. Click on new. I gotta log in. I can't do that right now. Click on new issue, open it, and you're good. If it's with the template itself, you know, it's nice if you can open an issue like exactly what you're having trouble with. So if you're having trouble with the initial template, you know, being messy or screwing, just go here. If you're having trouble with the framework itself, like with the components or CSS, go to Foundation Apps. If you're having trouble with the CLI, which some users have trouble with it, go to Foundation CLI. If you don't know where to go, just use Foundation Apps. Nobody's gonna yell at you for it. Anyway, so I guess that's it. That's it for my video. I'm gonna make this code available somewhere. Screw that up, I gotta change that. I'm gonna make this code available somewhere just so that people can look at it and be like, oh, so that's what you can do with it. And you know, that's kind of nice. And you guys can go ahead and look through it, and I'll link it in the video. Now I'm starting to understand why everybody's linking it in the video. It's because they do the video first, and then they actually like commit and push stuff out. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.